Copy.
Says we are live.
What's up?
Hey, folks, how y'all doing? We apologize for the tardiness. We've had some technical difficulties in the background.
Because technically,
Um,
our boss isn't here. Because those are
That's
technical difficulties. We looking for the boss. We looking for boss man.
yeah, so so no intro, but we are here. We're going to get the show going. We're going to go for a full 90 minutes. We apologize again for y'all having to wait. My man Evan was here since the beginning, trying to press some buttons, trying to get things done. I was, in traffic. Um, so we're going to have to check on the ear doc, make sure everything's good.
yeah,
But
for
we're going
real.
to get started.
Yeah, if the setup looks weird, it's because I didn't know what background to choose, so I chose clouds.
Oh, I was like, why are there clouds behind?
In the
There was no. It was
sky.
either this or the Saturdays with Renee. I couldn't find like the remix morning show one, so I was like, let me just go with like a neutral one. So we're in the clouds today, this morning.
That does seem to be missing the cloud. Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe he quit and deleted it. He took all the shit and was
You
like, you know
think
what?
somebody got on his nerve?
Can
You got
you
onto a big fight?
imagine?
He said, I'm not going to unblock Goddess Crew. So, but he did. Of course,
Yeah,
Goddess
he did. Yeah.
Yes. So welcome back, Goddess Crew. You were missed. But where is Naka?
I would love to be petty, but he actually did send a whole email. He sent like a explanation. Like it was. Yeah, there's no reason for him not to be here. I hope he's okay. Oh,
Yeah.
so the clouds weren't okay, Kamal? You didn't like the clouds?
Well, I mean, it's a little bit too heavenly kind of situation happening, so I decided to ditch the clouds for now.
Whatever.
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know what is our regular background. The
See,
blue
look
doesn't
at
look
us.
good either. Yeah.
Ear doctor's work is so ubiquitous. You know what I'm saying? It's so omnipresent. We don't even
notice when you got particles.
This is also why he doesn't tell anybody.
So that when he's not here,
how to do things, so we miss him.
Hey, that's how you do it, right?
Oh, I like this.
Oh my goodness!
But that's how I mix what I like. Okay, let me stop because I'm getting too excited now with the buttons.
Remix. We appreciate you guys being here on this good Tuesday, December the 2nd, 2025. How was everybody's holiday? Okay.
Everett, you want to? Yeah, you want?
Oh no! I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
I know y'all trying to produce live and stuff, but people are watching, so they might.
That is very true. That is very.
Yes. No. How was your holiday, Kim? Start with you.
My mother passed the recipes on to me.
Why would you start it like that?
By saying my mama passed.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I wouldn't. First of all, I'm sorry.
I know, but it's just like the way you started it.
Mama know I'm not trying to put her into no early nothing, but no, I'm sorry. She passed the recipes on. I'm so sorry.
You got to rephrase that, Kim, next time.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Right.
I did. There was just that part that made me think for a second because I was like, I know you wouldn't announce it that way.
Yeah, it was just a pause.
But it was at that pause. Yeah.
It's so weird.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to come out that way. Well, give me a synonym. Give me a better way to phrase it.
My mom gave me.
She gave me. Okay, fine. Yes. Maybe bequeathed is as bad as passed, right? But she gave me.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm sorry. I know mama is very much alive and well and strong as an ox. However, so we have a very particular way in which we fix the turkey. My mama doesn't make the turkey in the oven. She puts it on the grill outside over charcoal. Like it's an amazing process. But I'm telling you, the first time I had a turkey in the oven, I'm like, what is this? Why is the turkey not coming off the grill? This doesn't make sense. So anyway, so she showed me how to season and prepare the turkey, how to do the indirect heat with the charcoal briskets and the wood chips, and it's a serious process. So she showed me that and how to make the candy yams, and I got her sweet potato recipe. So we passing the recipe. Well, I'm sorry, we are giving along the recipes. So be sure, I hope you guys took some notes from your elders in the kitchen over the holiday. I'll just say that. How was y'all's holiday? Who cooked? Which one of y'all cooked? All right.
I cooked something. I made something. Like we don't do like a big thing, but did have some family time, and I made chocolate chip banana bread muffins.
Oh,
So like
interesting.
All the BAP comrades are familiar because I have definitely brought those to Jackie's house before.
Oh,
I brought a loaf. Actually, I brought a loaf to Jackie's house.
A loaf.
I just started doing little muffins. Like
what kind of loaf?
So it's a chocolate chip banana bread. So
And
the
how much
chocolate.
how much weed do you put in it? How much THC is in it?
Listen to that laughter.
How much?
Listen to that laughter.
How
That's
much
why it's enjoyed by all.
These are straight family friendly. You know what I'm saying? Muffins.
Sir, but we talking about hello. Our elders are boomers, so you know they got down with the and still get down.
No. Please believe I'm not. Jared is on this channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna. I would never front on our elders. Not elders. On our older uncles. I don't know, man. I don't even know what to call it. It's like a weird. You come out and Jared are in this weird, like they're not elders, but they're also not unks. You know what I'm saying? What's that middle territory?
Pops.
Pops.
Why were we? I think we are considered unks, aren't we? No, at least.
I am
old enough to be a dad, right? Literally.
Well, actually, maybe technically, but
not yet. No, literally, not
that's
technically.
not what we're talking.
I am not your dad, but I'm old enough to be of the generation. How old is your dad?
That is true. In the 60 plus.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm not. No, I take that back.
Maybe not. But it's a range, right? Like you're in the range. Come out. Okay, apparently it is.
But we are not boomers, so let's be clear. We are Generation X.
Yes. And we are
still elder, according to Ricky. Come out is an elder.
I'm not mad at it. I need to push the elder status more.
But
maybe OG.
You look so good. You know what I'm saying? You don't look like your age. You know what I'm saying? I think you fool him a little bit. That silver fox, though. But woo, you gonna be a fine old man, Kamau. Fine.
You get the duck lips. Wait a minute.
Yeah, duck lips. Don't smile.
Woo, yes. Give him the face. Serve him some face. Zaddy, let's go.
Let's go.
Kamau's gonna be killing it at the old folks' home. He's gonna be.
Oh yes. Are you crazy?
He's gonna be so popular, radicalizing all the older.
I don't know if I'd be radicalizing him at that stage.
He's gonna be organizing the staff
to go on strike.
I'm like, what is this mass again?
Oh my god!
With his getting all of them. Come out. How was your holiday? What did y'all do?
Nothing eventful because I was under the weather, so I individually stayed home. The kids did the normal, going to their cousins. Had some good times, brought back some food. I think everybody had there was other family here, so that was cool too. But I was under the weather thanks to my son, who gave me a little something to take with me. He said, "Here, take that with you." I'm done with it. And you can still hear it a little bit in my voice, but I am 1,000% better than I was on Thanksgiving Day. So a lack thereof of Thanksgiving on the Thanksgiving Day. And how about you? Said your mom passed on the recipes, right?
She did. I'm very
excited. Was it a big family gathering?
Well, we don't really have a big family, so it's just it was a small gathering,
small family gathering.
Yeah,
I know my side of the family is so small too. There's we have a bigger family, but I'm not in touch with any of them on any kind of regular basis. So it's not. So I don't know how to divide that up. It's like the cousins and the uncles and the aunts and whoever they may be. I don't really talk to them.
How many siblings did your mama have?
3. And
so you got cousins out here.
She's a middle child. Her youngest sister, Aunt Pumpkin, she died first. Mm-hmm. You can guess what she died of. Her nickname was Aunt Pumpkin. Diabetes. Diabetes.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I associate pumpkin with.
Aunt Pumpkin. Pumpkin. Yeah.
Aunt
Shout out
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Aunt
Got it.
Pumpkin. Yeah, that's
Got it,
what
got
that's what I grew
Got
up
it.
knowing her as. She passed away first, and my mother's older sister, Aunt Janie, she passed away second. Um, and all the cousins, there's a couple of cousins I knew, but most of them, like I didn't really get like as a kid. But after that, I think I saw my first cousin for the first time in like 50 years, like 2 years ago, like 45, 50 years, 2 years ago, whatever. So that's how much I am and me and my sister, we're close, but we're close from a distance. I think that's how we like it. You know what I'm saying? She's a better checker inner than I am, though. She's a much better checker inner. And she loves my babies. She loves the kids.
That's probably why
And I
she
haven't-
even bothers to talk to you. She
She,
just
I
wants
think
to
over
know
the years, she's given up a little hope there.
This is the only way I can see my niece and nephew.
Yeah. So I am going to wind up. I probably will wind up in the old folks' home, like I've said on the program. A little space. I just need like a little room for myself. Computer time, little TV time.
I think Khalib's gonna hold you down. You know what I'm saying? I think the girl's gonna acquiesce to your wishes. She's like, okay, you want to go to Whole Folks Home, no
She'll
problem.
throw me in now.
I was gonna say your daughter will visit you. I think. Like, you don't think so?
No,
Hey.
she won't. No.
Khalib will probably let you come. Probably try to take care of you for about a couple months, and then he'd be like,
Yeah. Khalib will be the one who would dot on me for a little while. Everybody else is going to be doing their life. And you're right. And after a while, he'll get tired of it too. He'll like, oof. He's like, I'm done. He's good. Yeah. But that'll be how we all like it.
Oh my
All right. So we don't have any segue stuff because none of that stuff is in that chat. So do y'all want to do so? There's not even the thing that you do for that's like flip the map and all that kind of stuff. It is none of it is right here at my kind of my fingertips. I'm not sure.
There will be no segues today.
Oh, wait a minute. I know why.
Why?
Let's see if this works. If I switch that, it's not letting me switch it though.
Kim, you're gonna do it a cappella.
Right. Do the little two-step into the news.
If you had like a little globe, you just spin it and just do it a cappella. That would be great.
Yeah, it's not letting me switch for some reason. It's interesting. Okay. Y'all want to just go into some news stories? Anybody got some stuff they want to talk about?
I got that article. I just shared in the chat. I think we should hit on that first, and then.
Okay, I can bring that up.
Thank you, remixers. Are we doing two streams? We are doing two streams. Okay. Well, like the video, which one you guys are watching. Again, thank you guys for joining us. Hope you all had a happy and safe holiday weekend. You know what I'm saying? It's death to the pilgrims, but shout out to the family gatherings. You know what I mean? So we appreciate y'all joining us. It's Kim, it's Evan, it's Kamau. Shout out if you see the ear doctor. It's a Papa Flair. We missing him right now. So shout out to Nakapondas and shout out to the remixers. Thank you guys so much for joining us on today. So what we got, Evan, to lead us off at 8:45?
8:45, right? Shout out to the chat, man. I think Chitty Matcha said it, but she was saying something about like this is the most dedicated chat. Where else people are not live, but the chat is still going. So very much appreciate this chat. I wanted to start us off with a recent statement from BAP. Many of you may have seen news around Guinea-Bissau, a coup d'etat supposedly. But this statement don't believe the simulated coup d'etat in Guinea-Bissau. So I'm just going to read a little bit of this. I do want to. There are demands at the bottom, so I'll make sure to cover those as well. And also shout out to the U.S. Out of Africa Network and the Africa team from BAP. Also in collaboration with AAPRP and PAIGC. So I do want to shout them out as well. Okay. It is important that African Black people around the world not fall for the latest amateurist attempt by neo-colonialist puppet government in Guinea-Bissau, led by President Umaro Sissoko Embalo. This to subvert the democratic will of Guinea-Bissau, of the Bissau Guinean people. Sorry, y'all. Before completing the country's November 23rd election process, military leaders loyal to Embalo suspended it and seized total control of the country, claiming to have done so to prevent election manipulation. The Black Alliance for Peace, Africa Team, and U.S. Out of Africa Network unite with the assessments and positions of our member organizations, the All African People's Revolutionary Party and the African Party of Independence of Guinea-Bissau, that holds representation on the USOAN Steering Committee, U.S. South Africa Network. Upon completion of voting, quote, upon completion of voting, official reports to the Regional Electoral Commission, CRE, from the 10 regions indicate that Fernando Diaz da Costa won the election and a confirmed vote tally of 54%, while Embalo Sissoko, the illegitimate president seeking re-election, garnered 44% of the vote. This declaration was backed up by both domestic and international observers who reportedly agreed that Embalo was voted out of the presidency and that the National Electoral Commission was about to publish the results that opposition candidate Fernando Diaz won. Embalo then claimed that he was arrested by the military, yet he was still able to make the declaration in interviews with media outlets RFI, France 24, and June Afrique. Meanwhile, the armed forces installed
Frozen.
the new head of state. Sissoko
Run that back.
appointee. I'm frozen?
Well, you froze for about 10-ish seconds, so read back your last two sentences.
Last two sentences. Damn. Okay, my bad. Okay.
Maybe just
major.
one.
Sorry. Okay. Meanwhile, the armed forces installed as the new head of state one of Sissoko Embalo's own appointees, Major General Horta Inta. Embalo was able to leave for Dakar, Senegal, then on to Congo Brazzaville, while his opponents were held in custody. On November 29th, armed mass men raided the headquarters of the PIAGC. As far as BAP and the U.S. South African Network are concerned, the Umaro Sissoko Embalo's government was already an illegitimate one, having circumvented the 2023 electoral victory of PIAGC candidate Domingos Simoes Pereira. And in February 2024, BAP mobilized a demonstration on the African Union representational mission to the U.S. in Washington, D.C. to protest the acquiescence of this crime by the AU and bodies such as the Economic Community of West African States, or ECOWAS, and the United Nations. I will just continue to just finish this up. BAP is under no illusions that...
Don't read the whole thing. Just maybe skip to the demands.
The demands? Okay. So just getting to the demands, we demand the immediate release of Domingos Simoes Pereira and all citizens who have been illegally detained, the cessation of military hostility and harm to the people, harm no one, that all military troops return to the barracks and cede civilian control, and 4, that the electoral process be allowed to go forward with the official proclamation of the vote count and announcement of the winners of the presidential elections of 23 November 2025, no compromise, no retreat, BAP Africa Team, and U.S. South African Network. There are also additional resources at the bottom of this page, so we can put this in the chat, but if anyone kind of wants to dig in more to some of these sources, they're available. All right. I'll put this in the chat as well.
So we should have somebody on. Maybe can give us some more. I'll put the whole article in the chat for folks too.
Okay, great.
Give us some more details on the situation and what's happening.
I saw the story and I thought it was interesting because I know little to nothing about Guinea-Bissau, and I'm hearing these, Spanishy names, but then I looked it up and it was a former colony of Portugal. And but I thought it was interesting that the president, or the person who lost the election, he claimed that he was being held under armed guard. And I'm glad you guys put that in the statement. Like, okay, well, how are you getting access? How is the media accessing you, sir?
Make all these statements.
Right. How was French 24 cameras getting to where you are if you're being held under armed guard? So it'll be interesting to see what those results are, or what the final thing ends up being. But ironically, didn't French President Emmanuel Macron, didn't he just wrap up a tour of Africa, touting, partnerships? Macron was just over there.
I didn't know. I hope they throw tomatoes at him.
Dry begging, you know what I'm saying? Or, like we still cool, right? Like, y'all still gonna send us uranium, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah. And I think he made some weird statement talking about how y'all still owe us, or how we've done good by Africa. Basically,
every time he touches the African continent, he wants to say something like that. He just can't help himself.
We've always been good to you people. Shut up.
Why y'all acting brand new? It was always good. We was always.
It's like, ain't y'all,
we
weren't
was
y'all
always like
happy?
this.
Weren't y'all happy?
What happened?
What story
Oh
was
my
I
God.
watching? What it was one of these long TikTok stories, but it was about I can't remember if it was Burkina Faso or what. But anyway, interesting things are happening in Burkina Faso culturally. I think I saw a story that they are banning Burkina Faso, that is the use of fake hair in beauty pageants, and they are changing the dress attire of lawyers and judges from the white wigs and the, Anglo colonial style dress to a more, diasporatic appropriate style of, I mean, doing these things that might
Yeah.
seem small but they're not really. They're really big
No.
shifts, and shaking off them colonial shackles, even if it is in the presentation of dress and style. But the thing about banning the fake hair I thought was pretty interesting. I said,
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, they're definitely like, cultural elements, right? But what do we know about culture, right? Culture is part of the superstructure that reinforces the base. It doesn't make the base, doesn't form the base, but it certainly reinforces it. And seeing these Africans in these white wigs and these is always so ridiculous. So I welcome that. I welcome whatever the new costume is, but
No, it's
yeah.
yeah. I get it. Whatever the new word. Like
All
whatever the
costumes, but I would
new.
just prefer a more
But it would be, yeah, it would be better if it
yeah.
was African based, even if we had some issue with the way justice was dispensed. At least culturally, you would feel like it's not locked in. It feels so, like you're right, when I see it, it feels so locked into European hegemony that it's hard to take
Yeah.
it seriously.
mhm.
Because it's like that's why I can't even. I know we're going on a little bit of a tangent. I can't even watch those period pieces when they put the black folks in as sort of the quote unquote part of the royal family or part of this or
Oh
part of
yeah.
whatever. And they're
The Bridgerton,
like,
they're not. Is
yeah,
it
all that
Bridgerton?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Sorry, I
just
do
I
want to
can't
make this
watch them.
correction.
They're so ridiculous on their face. It's like I can't suspend for the fantasy of what this is supposed to be. They can
Right.
if it's sci-fi and it's like the future, I
Mhm.
can suspend, I can suspend more, but I can't go back to the colonial past and then have Africans who are interacting with Europeans as part of their so-called royal system, and there's no racism and no prejudices. It's like, B, you're killing me right now. You're killing
It's
me.
just all these inbred Europeans and then Remy Jean Page trying to
Yeah.
make it seem cool. Okay, just want to make this correction because I think one of us maybe said Anglo, but just from Elon. Not Anglo though. They were colonized by the French. Anglo denotes English. So yeah, just a
No, yeah, I get it, but like the
yeah.
whole when I see the white powdered wigs, I think English. But thank you
Yes.
for the correction. Yeah,
It's still crazy and stinky and whack, regardless.
stinky and whack.
So
Yes.
I'll go to I'm going to call, like I think you guys mentioned in your piece. I'm going to call it a somewhat related piece. And some of this is obviously, I think there's a potential budding war, and calling it a war is probably untrue. There's an invasion potentially of Venezuela that is on the way.
Oh yeah.
Part of the conversation around what's happening in Venezuela over the last few months has been the misinformation that's been put out by the Trump regime, that the military, that the media has reported on, that the several strikes, which I think have killed upwards of over 180 something people by now. So how this is not continually huge front page news is beyond me, that some country can continually bomb individual boats, killing upwards of over 100 people. And we don't get, again, as we got, I think this past weekend when the two National Guard people were shot. We got these individual backstories. We get no backstories of the people that the United States is dropping bombs on from a distance. But the interesting part of this discussion, which is weird to me, is that now there's this way in which they're trying to parse out what's a war crime and what's not a war crime. And so Hegseth ordered a lethal attack, but not the killing of survivors, officials say. So the story is
This is the double
pinpointing.
tap thing. Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah, exactly. So amid talks of war crimes, the details and precise sequence of a September attack on a boat in the Caribbean are facing intensifying scrutiny. So really quick, it says the Trump administration on Monday defended the legality of a September 2nd attack on a boat in the Caribbean Sea as calls grew in Congress to examine whether a follow-up missile strike that killed survivors amounted to a crime. The lethal attack was the first in President Trump's legally disputed campaign of killing people suspected of smuggling drugs at sea as if they were combatants in a war. It has started coming under intense bipartisan scrutiny in recent days amid questions about the decision to kill the initial survivors and what orders were issued by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. And so at the White House, the press secretary read a statement that said Hegseth had authorized a special operation commander overseeing the attack to conduct these kinetic strikes, as they call them. She said that Admiral Bradley had worked well within his authority and the law directing the engagement to ensure the boat was destroyed and that the threat to the United States of America was eliminated. But and I don't want to read this whole story, but what they are somehow talking about, as Evan noted, was the fact that under the first strike, apparently there were survivors.
2 survivors,
and
I think.
As opposed to attempting to rescue the survivor, what they did was they decided to engage in a second strike and to kill that survivor. Now, this is what's being disputed as the question becomes whether or not this was a violation of the law, whether international law, U.S. law, is part of what the question is, as opposed to the question being, in my estimation, how are any of the strikes anything but illegal, immoral strikes? The differentiation here escapes me when the United States, without any evidence whatsoever, has launched these strikes in international waters and or Venezuelan waters and or other national waters, and basically murdered people in small boats over and over and over and over again. And it's being reported the way the United States, even if there's some doubt being cast, it is being reported as if these strikes, the reason for these strikes are for so-called suspected drug dealers. And that is not the reason for the strikes. The strikes are an intimidation tactic and a propaganda tactic, and to soften sort of to see how Venezuela will respond or won't respond, so that it is an opening potentially for this invasion that people are suspecting is coming down the line. So I just found that really interesting that, again, the media, the corporate media, is fixated on whether or not a second strike was a violation of U.S. law and or international law, as opposed to all of the strikes being an overt violation of law, as they literally murdered people without any evidence they produced whatsoever. And even if they had the evidence, but without any evidence whatsoever that these people were involved in any drug trying to move drugs. But again, even if they had such evidence, it still would be illegal to basically bomb people from above without any due process whatsoever. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there.
The part about this conversation in the mainstream that I find, well, that your point come out, and then the other issue that I find very disingenuous is, really trying to suss out whether or not is this a war crime? Did he commit a war crime? Okay, if he did, then what? What comes after that? Let's say it is found that this, I mean, obviously it's illegal, but let's say the Senate oversight, whoever the hell is investigating, finds that this, was a violation of international law. Where's the accountability? Where does that come in? Right? Because the United States is not a participant in the international criminal courts. Because if that was the case, when people would talk about, everyone in this administration is going to be held accountable and they're going to jail and they're going to be prosecuted. Where's the evidence of that? Dastardly Dick Cheney just died peacefully in his bed at 84. Okay. If there was ever an overt war criminal walking the planet, it was definitely him and the rest of the Bush administration. But and whatever happened to them? Was there even any whispers of any sort of international prosecution, given all of the illegal and wanton killings of civilians, permanent displacement of people, just everything horrible that the United States did in Iraq and Afghanistan? Lots of it absolutely was illegal under international law. But in the same way that Israel flouts international law, the United States find itself above reproach. And I mean, who gonna check the United States? Who's gonna check? Who's gonna do anything to Pete Hegseth? So I get frustrated when I see these conversations in the mainstream, because when you imply a crime, then there seems to, you would think the next thing coming after that would be some sort of method of accountability, and that's not coming forward. If anything, Hegseth might get removed from his position, but he's going to go and live his happy white life on the white man speaker circuit and burn his crosses and throw up his Heil Hitlers and just live his you understand what I'm saying? If he did do this, which I'm certain he did, what's going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, nothing. I think this is you're absolutely right. Kissinger also was able to die nice.
Another one.
Another
mm-hmm. demon,
as opposed to in a gulag somewhere. Yeah, man. I mean, I think this is like the dead end of liberalism, right? Like this parsing of hairs of right, like ignoring the illegality of all of it, right, and just saying like, oh, like, well, are we conducting this war in the right way, right? It's the Obama one. It's like I want to do it the right way. I want to do these war crimes the right way, the legal way. And it's you know, it's on its face ridiculous, you know, and just to, you know, be clear, like, yeah, like they blew up this boat. There were 2 survivors apparently clinging to wreckage, and my understanding is that, like, you know, Hegseth, you know, gave the order, like, you know, kill them all. They're not supposed to be any survivors or something along those lines. And then they shot again. I think it's interesting. There's also this kind of back and forth around like the military doesn't need to follow illegal orders. Since when? I mean, like, I get that that's a rule, but like trying to have this conversation like separate from any kind of material historical reality of like what the U.S. is or what the U.S. military does is hilarious on its face. Mm-hmm. But you know, something else is hilarious.
But you see how they keep going back to Vietnam, right? Oh, in the My Lai massacre. Yeah. I'm like, how many other
go back that far?
Thousands of massacres likely have taken place between that one and these most recent massacres of fisher boats in the Caribbean Sea. I mean,
but if they do that, Kim, it's not a historical thing anymore, right? If it's Vietnam, it's this historical thing that we've learned from, that we've like progressed from. If it's this unbroken, continual, you know what I mean, warmongering, genocidal, you know, campaign across the global South, then it's not a one-off. It's not a historical thing anymore. It's actually just the practice of this country, right? And that is what liberals refuse to kind of engage with. You know, they're still on this tip about, well, you know, it's still, you know, great society on earth, and we just need to tweak it on the margins and it'll be better, and all this nonsense, man. And it's, yeah.
Well, one of the interesting similarities, really quick, is that My Lai was not a one-off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, yeah, also
just the thing that got exposed for whatever particular reason. But there were so many different reports of villages in Vietnam that had similar actions of mass destruction, rape, murder, people being kids, elders being shot in the head and laid to waste. Mm-hmm. That the surprise was that one made it to, again, mainstream media and press. And then even when it did, similarly, they focused in on who gave the order.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Who gave the order and who should
leaked
be
it?
Responsible? Yeah. I mean, in real life, who leaked it, but who gave the media focused on what one individual should be taken, should be held accountable as to not indict the whole system under which we're operating. Where all of you, you're both correct, where the United States faces no justice, no pushback. There's no other nation state that has the weaponry apparently and or the desire to take on U.S. hegemony, because what's happening is completely, you know, morally, legally, ethically illegal, right? Should not be happening. The fact that the United States is currently having phone calls with Maduro telling him that he has to step down and leave the country, and that's what the negotiation is. That you know, there's been a report that there was a short phone call where basically it's either you leave or we invade. So either you leave or we take over your country and take over the oil and install our person, and no one can stop us, right? That's the current system that we live under. That there is not enough resistance from either big powers. Obviously, the level of imperialism does not sort of equate to a reason for mass protests in the United States at this particular time. So people are not reacting to the obvious ways in which U.S. hegemony, again, continuously dominates the planet and has dominated the planet or over, particularly since World War II. So we're talking well over like close to 80 or 90 years where this particular type of hegemony has dominated the world scene.
Okay.
To your
and
point.
not for nothing. My fault.
Oh, no, go ahead, Evan. Go ahead.
I was gonna say not for nothing. The only immediate example that came to mind, because I'm sure the U.S. has done this double tap thing many, many times in Afghanistan and Iraq. No surprise there, bombing weddings, all that good stuff. But the example that I thought of immediately was the Zionist entity, who also likes to double tap, who also likes to hit people, wait for people to come to try to help them, and then hit them again, right? And just recently there's this video, right, of the Zionist entity, soldiers trying to bulldoze this garage. These two guys come out, show that they're unarmed, show they don't have any bombs on them. They literally usher them back into the building, shoot them point blank, execute them, and then demolish the building, right? And just as Kamal said, right, like this has been going on unbroken continuously this entire time. The surprise is it's filmed. That is the surprise. And just like when that man was gang raped on camera, right? The response from the Zionist entity was, who leaked it? And now that I'm pretty sure that woman is in custody, I believe, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's the issue. Meanwhile, the entire society went to that prison to get those guys out, right? Welcome them with open arms, So like this, I think we just need to be really clear, right, about the sadistic nature of these settler colonial countries, right, and their practices, and it is completely embedded into the operations of their military. And it doesn't matter, right, if they have these so-called laws on the books around double tapping or taking prisoners of war and all this other stuff. It doesn't matter because they're not going to follow it. Oh, I think I'm breaking up. Essentially, they're not going to follow it. They're not going to hold anybody accountable. And it's the liberalism of having it on paper, right? We have these rules on paper, right? But it's not actually connected to a real practice. Unlike unlike the resistance forces in Palestine that were letting these people get medevaced away after they did an attack, right? Because they're not, vindictive, like insane people, right? They let them, they followed those conventions of war, whatever I'm trying to say, right? So they let these people get medevaced, right? But yeah, man, I just think we should be clear about like how these are deeply tied to cultural practices and like perspectives. You know what I'm saying? This is not just these are not one-offs.
So it's interesting. Kamal said something that sparked a thought, because I remember in 2002-03, in the lead up, the drumbeat to war for the invasion again of Iraq and Afghanistan. I mean, people were in the streets. You know what I mean? They were like, here they were, because I was out there with them. But like, folks were, no war, not in our name, all of that jazz. I don't see any of that. I won't say any, but it's definitely not as loud right now as the drumbeat to invade Venezuela kind of gets louder. But also, what's up with the big red homies? What's up with China and Russia? I can't get a true bead on what China and Russia are doing covertly or maybe even overtly at this point to assist Venezuela, to help in their armaments. Am I hearing that Russia is staging some warcraft also in the region, or is it China sent some boats? Are they sending munitions? Am I hearing those reports correctly? Because sometimes things are not easily.
I think Venezuela has already received weaponry from Venezuela, at least in the past. It's been
from China, from Russia.
From Russia, I believe. From Russia, I believe. But I don't think, there's things that China and Russia can be doing. China and Russia are not necessarily going to stand up militarily to the United States unless it's directly in their so-called interests.
But what about some proxies, some proxy situation? You understand?
Well, that's the things that they could do, but they have not necessarily. Again, the Russia today is not the Soviet Union of yesterday, right? Where the Soviet Union would usher in arms, training, technology, guidance, intelligence to help support nation states against imperialism. That's not where Russia is. Even while Russia is being attacked directly by NATO forces through the Ukraine, right? It is Ukraine could not stand up to Russia for a day without the backing of the European Union and the United States. And even as that's happening, Russia is still hedging its bets in terms of cutting deals, not necessarily overtly choosing sides directly, or basically, 1 foot in, 1 foot out in terms of the resistance. Remember Putin's statement during when asked about, particularly during the Israeli war on Gaza, the Israeli genocide, about more assistance, was like his statement was something like, you have to remember that like 50 or 60% of the Israelis come from Russia. Some outrageous statement that sort of said that there was a kinship or connection that just can't be ignored. So I do think that there's ways in which, again, if this was about Taiwan, I think China would definitely react differently if the United States somehow was saying we're going to set up a military base directly in Taiwan, even though they give them billions of dollars of weaponry a year, or if they declare their complete independence. But these powers are somewhat regional powers. They don't have bases all around the world, and I think they are hedging their bets around what they will do to interfere with U.S. hegemony, which it turns out to be, so far, not as much as we thought they would, particularly when we look at that UN vote recently on Gaza, and allowing the U.S. to implement officially its so-called plan for the rehabilitation of Gaza.
Yeah. And just to acknowledge, we're seeing in the chat, it does seem like Russia is providing some support to Venezuela. But, as you said, Kamal, like everybody's hedging their bets, and trying to prevent, Jackie always says this, right? Like that, like the only reason that we're not in a hot war already right now is because of discipline of the global South, because in so many ways, the discipline of these revolutionary countries, because they aren't taking the bait. So, hopefully this is, I know I've seen a lot of people talking about this as, a big pump fake from the US, right? They're not actually going to go, on the ground, right? And I do think it would be devastating for the US military to do a ground invasion. But I also, it's also very clear that winning wars is not the goal. So I don't know. Like, I don't
Yeah, the question is, do they need a ground invasion, or can they accomplish their goals
from the sky?
That's true.
Say it again.
From the sky.
Yeah, from the sky, from smaller invasions in terms of removing people, whether or not whether or not CIA coups. There is a significant, even if it's not a majority population of Venezuela, that does support some of the right-wing politics, right? And so using them as, let's remember Egypt, right? During when the long-term ally of the United States was overthrown, and the Muslim Brotherhood came to power for probably less than a year, right? There was significant, the population decided to go against some of the population, not all of it, but some of the population, particularly the liberals, decided to somehow side with the military, which allowed a coup by the military. I'm sure the U.S. still has assets within even Venezuela's military. So it may not be that the need to go in and control. And again, I don't know if any of us know really the situation on the ground. I know that there's been conversations about how citizens are being armed in case there is an invasion. And so I think that's important, that the citizens may help fight back, and it may turn into an Iraq situation if it went that far. Like, I'm also doubting that it'll go that far, but if it went that far, could the United States hold Venezuela through a land invasion that lasted more than a year or so? I think not also. And I think the United States has shown itself to not be able to hold land for much long periods of time, as we saw in Iraq and as we saw in Afghanistan, right? A group like the Taliban, which is not does not have sophisticated weaponry compared to what the United States did to bomb it from the sky, but the United States could not hold back whether people liked the Taliban or not, the ways that the Taliban were part of the indigenous culture, for better or worse, whether people like all their policies, whether or not they're revolutionary or not, they were still able over time to continually weaken the United States and not allow them to hold territory. And so I think the United States does not, when I think even the MAGA base does not want a land invasion, but it will, with some parts breaking off, it would totally accept more bombs being dropped on Venezuela, particularly if they thought it accomplished the goal of removing a left government and allowing U.S. corporations to dominate the oil market and take over oil in Venezuela.
Right. And that's the goal, right? If they can destabilize Venezuela, however they do it, right? The goal is to get the oil, right? Or destabilize them such that they can get that resource.
Rubber band man, wow, that's the Taliban. 9 in my right, 45 in my overhand. Speaking of CIA, y'all seen the CIA?
Yo,
I'm sorry.
No, what is that? The segue? Now I must hear.
We got a retired CIA officer, U.S. Marine Corps.
I'm talking about I'm talking about the Afghan youngin who came to DC and let the
you talking about
band.
that? You talking about that? You talking about that false flag?
I'm talking about that. Yeah, yes, sir. Let's discuss, because what?
Wait a minute.
Allegedly.
We discuss.
Allegedly.
Let's discuss our own wild as the Taliban man who is now back in action.
Oh, there we go.
The one, the only, the ear doctor.
He's here. He's safe, y'all. Oh my God.
Goodness. Listen.
Yo, I was knocked the fuck out.
This is all. Oh my.
Naka, I was concerned. I'm like, I'm about to send Kamal your address. I'm like, go check on this man immediately after the show. Where is Vance?
Can you hear me fine?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Nah, my alarm just didn't go off. It just.
That's what happens when you hungover.
Alarm didn't go off. Phone was not charged. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like,
he didn't even try to come up with an excuse.
I didn't, because I'm never late.
Ever.
No, that's why we were so worried.
I was worried.
Yo,
you were genuinely concerned for your safety. You over here knocked out.
I seen. How y'all doing? Y'all looking good. Y'all looking chipper.
We are good. We couldn't find no buttons.
What? It's almost year 5, Kamal. Stop.
But look, yo, there's something going on though in the thing. I was trying to find the right buttons. It was like it's under whatever this setup is. It's under like, what is it? I mix a lot. And I tried to switch it over to the remix. It wouldn't let me switch it over. We were just lost. We were lost.
Oh,
we're lost without you.
Hey, you know who I was able to
Don't
give?
Ever go.
Who might have been lost? Who I was able to give? I had my birthday party, and I want to show you what my son said about me. You ready?
So many things I've never even heard. Just what were you thinking with some of those names? You don't even know. That's what you got to do. You got to experiment. You got to see where your head is at. And I'm just glad that he did it first so he could pave the way for me. Happy 50th birthday.
My boy.
Beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Lovely.
My boy, man. Me and my daughter had a dance together. We did that. I had a dancer come and perform while we was eating. It was classy, man. It was classy.
While you
huh?
I said that song looked better than Cliff Huxtable's 50.
I know. I did like the jacket and everything. Everybody.
Hey, you see the gold and black? It was a theme, gold and black. So then, and I had a wardrobe change right before the party.
Had a wardrobe change.
Oh yeah.
Wardrobe change.
Yes. I had a DJ playing, and then I got on and spin for like 15 minutes and rocked the party. It was beautiful. Then the next day, went to go see Erykah Badu perform. And then last night, 2 nights ago, went to see Coogee Rap perform.
Oh,
I just been outside, man. And I seen Wicked too. That shit was good. All right.
Shit.
Well,
that's a weird. Yeah, you went from Badu and to
Coogee Rap to Wicked.
It was Wicked.
We don't have
basketball
Eric
game
here to receive that.
Man, I'm done. I'm good.
But last night, apparently, you were doing something else too.
Well,
That you couldn't wake up this morning.
Listen. Enough about me. I ain't even having no coffee. I just woke up and was like, "Oh shit!" And I
How many texts do you have? Because I know I sent you like 3.
I sent one on the air.
I don't know, man.
Let me tell you when. So I came on, after my.
Oh, just one. Don't nobody else care about me, Kim. Go ahead.
I sent you a text.
Shit, me.
I did send you a text. I was like, "What's going on?"
Oh, maybe.
I came on like 8:15. My man.
You know how some people don't ever text you and they name just sometimes don't come up with nothing, and I guess that's what happened.
Wow.
No, for real.
As soon as the show was over, I was going to get that ad. I was coming over because no one.
You was going to get what?
I was going to get your address from Kim.
Okay. Continue the word.
Yes, no, it was serious there. I was like, no, and of course, my mind goes to the terrible places. I'm like, this man partied too hard. He just turned 50, sir. You overdid it.
Making heart attack overdose.
I got so much liquor downstairs. It is ridiculous. It's like a liquor store on my table. So
see, this is your contradiction that I have a hard time reconciling.
my health. Hey, I went running.
I went running.
I had to. I ate. I went running and I've been working out. So I stay on top of it. And now that I'm 50, it's really time to work on the health now. Okay, I partied. I did everything. Now it's time to get my teas, eat right, do my exercise. That's how I'm gonna live my life now.
No more drinking. No more drinking.
No more blunts.
No more blunts. So no weed. No weed.
No, he said no blunts. Not no weed.
There's a difference.
Evan, I like you.
I heard the distinction. I heard that. Well, whatever you're doing, ear doctor, you know what I'm saying? In this house, when I told someone you were 50, she was like, "What? He's 50? For real?" So people don't believe it, man. You look at least better than your age. I'll give you that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, enough about me. Let's get back to the wars and stuff going on in the world.
Get back to the wars. Are you ready to do a break or not? You can't.
I thought I just did, but I'll do another one. But it's good to see y'all. Hey, so today, we had our whole Black Friday thing. So I thought about consumption. Is this the right? No, that's last week's. Damn, what happened to this week's? Okay, so now that's wrong. Well, yeah. Okay, that's wrong. That's gonna be Thursday. So Thursday, your boy is down with Chanel now, and she got her Fetty. So let's thought about how musicians got to go make money elsewhere nowadays. He's about getting that money right now that he's on the ESPN. Rock the boat. So y'all was just talking about that, wasn't y'all? Maybe.
Yeah. Are you just going through all your covers that you made?
Right. I didn't know this.
You figure out which cover you see. Something's going on with the thing.
Okay, and then Isaac Hayes,
that's last month.
I said Chris Brown. Me and Kim Brown will be doing classical breakdown.
You probably would do some shit with Chris Brown. Sucker ass.
That's last month.
I just told you that was last month.
Oh shit! I pulled up the wrong one.
You just pulled up every goddamn thing except for what you were looking for.
Kim, he's gonna see Chris Brown in
I think he's still high. Or still drunk.
Be like,
he's gonna dap him up. He's gonna take a picture. He's gonna post
greedy. See, I was supposed to come in playing with DMX. Stop being greedy.
Now, what was that one? Did you just?
That was the Black Friday, and all the Cyber Monday, and all them people wilding out every year.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, do a little commercial break. I gotta go to the bathroom.
I believe you. I believe you. I really do. Let's do it like this. Welcome out to the Remix Morning Show. It's been so long. Welcome out to the Remix Morning Show. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new to. Oh no, I don't do that now. All right, let me get back to it.
Saddest day of my life is when she left me with a broken is when she left me with a broken heart. I was going insane. Yes, try to erase all the memories. They're the ones that don't see. If I could forget all about the past, how long would this go? The saddest thing in my life.
All right. Let me take you to a time and place. Let me take you to the year of 1990. We talk about Brand Nubians. Name of that album is One for All. Name of that song is Get Busy Like This Man, mixed with a little bit of Wayne Wonder 2006. Don't Have To. Name of the album. Name of that song is Saddest Day of My Life. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's red, donate where at blkliberationmedia.org. You can't see it at the bottom of the screen because it's not there, but now it is. So go ahead and donate. Thank you very much. Now let's get back to the crew right here on Rick's Morning Show.
About no time, I smack 10 to a friend who hooked me off with skins. See, I'm the type of brother and I like to have fun. She said 69, I said 68, and
And I owe you one. Good old Grand Pooba.
Pooba.
Yes.
Pooba.
All right.
What you know about Pooba, Evan?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No, I know.
You know about Brand Nubians?
I know who it is. I know Brand Nubians. I know who they are. I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm well versed.
You are.
That's all right. That's all right.
You're on mute, Kim. So just
she wasn't talking anyway, was she?
Yeah, she was about to.
Oh, she was about to say something.
Yeah,
She's still on mute. She can't look.
She is.
Jabot's hanging baggy till hill figure on the top.
That's right. Talk about it. School them. That's a line from Grand Pooba. Go do your hip hop history. We'll be back with hip hop history on Thursday also.
All I heard was something about 69 and he was like 68 and I owe you later. And I was like, that's kind of lame.
I know, right? Complete the
It's
cipher.
It's kind of lame, but
That's
all I caught.
Complete the cipher, guard. All right. With that said, let y'all get back to it. Holla.
Hey, y'all. Now we have formed like Voltron. We strong out here now. We got our head back with us. So it's the Remix Morning Show, Tuesday edition. Fully loaded, full clip out here. Kamal, Evan, Kim, Narco Pondas has made an appearance, and of course, the ever faithful remixers in the chat. Thank you all so much. I'm sending you a couple of joints, Kamal, K. Franklin, at your leisure. But if you guys have a story that you would like to get into, we can always do that. But y'all, oh wait, real quick, today is Giving Tuesday, aka Begging Tuesday. So listen, if you are so inclined to support your favorite independent Black media channel that promotes Black liberation, Black power, Black unity, this is the place you need to do it. So please, blkliberationmedia.org. If you want to become a sustaining member, you can. I think we have some other, do we have some other ways people can send some money? You can always purchase some merch. We have a lovely line of merchandise featuring some of your favorite programs and, cool stuff and hats and hoodies and whatnot. That also supports the platform too. So on this Giving Tuesday, aka Begging Tuesday, we, if you all wouldn't mind, kick your people a couple coins, we certainly would appreciate it. And thank you.
Yes. The shirts are very soft. Get one.
Because it sounds like Begging Tuesday, right? Because we just be begging.
Yeah, and I got a name for everything. Giving Tuesday, Begging Tuesday, Cyber Monday. Like it's like this a name for every damn thing at the stage, whatever.
Oh my God.
I pulled up Kim. Is anyone you want to start with?
Nope. Anyone. Pick a one. It don't matter.
I'm going to start with
two of them are the same. Two of them, yeah. Because I think I put two clips up there from the ice. Would have been ice raids in New York City over the weekend.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to New York City.
You don't want to talk about the shooting?
Oh, wait, hold on. Skirt.
That's what I was like. I thought that's where we were going.
skirt. Because, I mean, listen, to be clear, I do not find, anybody being shot and killed on the streets. It's not, that's not for the funny, maybe is not the word, is not the right word, because it's a tragedy. I mean, I'm sorry that a young person lost their life. I'm sorry that another person is fighting for the life. I know what uniform they was wearing. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, I'm a humanist. If they was crackers and I find out later, then I might change my mind. But anyway, as it stands right now, the person who was accused of shooting these two National Guardsmen, killing one of them, is a 29-year-old Afghan national who had been granted asylum here in the U.S. because under the allies of or friends of the U.S. program, he was in here under like a certain conditional basis because he had served alongside, I'm not sure alongside the U.S. military, because I think when the CIA goes into countries to do their fuck shit and the military's fuck shit, it's kind of separate fuck shit, right? Because I guess the military has some sort of code of conduct, etc. But whatever. But CIA get to go in there and do whatever. So apparently,
really quick, it says here that in Afghanistan, I'm not going to pronounce his name correctly, is Lakanwal, worked in a special CIA-backed Afghan army unit known as Zero Unit. He entered the U.S. in 2021 through Operation Allies Welcome, a Biden-era program that evacuated and resettled tens of thousands of Afghans after the chaotic U.S. withdrawal. Many had worked alongside U.S. troops and diplomats.
Right. And the important thing to note there is that the program he came through was a Biden-era program, but he was cleared by the Trump administration because there was another vetting that they did. And he was cleared like a week ago or something, or like a week before this happened. So important to note that because the Trump administration is trying to make it a big thing about this being a Biden-era mistake or choice or whatever, right? He was vetted, or he wasn't vetted enough, which is why they're trying to do this whole, like, all of these people need to be kind of reassessed. But important to note that he was explicitly vetted by the Trump administration like a week or two before this actual incident.
I have a question. Where I'm a little unclear is how long he was, vetted. The nigga was on the payroll. You understand? Like, how long has he been a CIA trained individual? We gotta say at least 10 years, right? So if
they made him a child soldier. He was 15, 16 when he got recruited. So just to be clear, right? He was recruited as a child soldier by the CIA around 15, 16, I guess. The unit that he was a part of, Zero Unit, was run by the CIA. I guess the U.S. military didn't have command control of them. The CIA had command control of them. They were known as a death squad. They were known to be committing war crimes all across, like all over the place, right? So he is inducted. He's made a child soldier by the U.S. government, by the CIA. Is a part of this group that is known to have committed war crimes, vetted multiple times, mind you, right? So like over the course of that, vetted multiple times. And then is supposedly vetted again, right? When he enters this program to come here. So just wanted to be clear about that element, right? Like this, this guy very much did not have. I don't know. I don't want to.
You're right, Evan. Like, he did not come over here all willy-nilly at the end of the day, right? He did not walk across the Mexican border. You understand? Like, he was very much known to the U.S. government for 10 plus years, right? So he was not a stranger to this government, and like I said, to the payroll. I'm sure you got to been getting a check out here somewhere. But some reports that I've heard, because he and his family were settled out in Washington State, and when Trump came in, even after this person was granted asylum, part of Trump's anti-immigration policies involved, revoking work permits for people who are migrants and who had legal status to work here. So I from what I gather, and somebody correct me if I'm giving, my intention is not to give incorrect information, but correct me if you got better information. But his work permit was revoked. So he was not able to earn a living to support his 5 children and his wife. So that could have been, they have not announced a motive, and I doubt that they will. This guy is trained on how to withstand interrogations and torture. I'm sure they're not going to get anything out of him, would be my guess. But who's also not to say this was also not part of his duties, right? As a CIA operative.
And they're trying to suggest, Yeah, so they're trying to suggest, obviously, what they're going to put out is that he's been under psychological trauma in terms of not being able to fit into this society here once he got here. They're
Oh,
not
that's
dealing
interesting.
with the stuff that Evan has brought up in terms of the psychological trauma that he's been facing since he was recruited by the United States to fight his own people for over a dozen or so years, trained as a killer to murder, spy, go against, and serve go against Afghan interests and serve the interests of the U.S. empire, and had no choice but to be brought over here, to be quite frank, because he would be considered a traitor by the winning side. And again, this is part of the history of the U.S. invasions. Is we talked about Vietnam earlier when they called it the fall of Saigon. What they really mean is that it was liberated from U.S. occupation, and all of the Vietnamese, particularly those who were Catholic, now knew that they had to get out the country because they were serving the interests of the U.S. imperialists. And so that is why you have these influx of different folks who come in, because most of them served the U.S. interests. And when the U.S. lost the war, when the U.S. was defeated in these wars, again, it doesn't matter whether or not you like the regimes and so forth. What happens is that the folks who are doing the bidding of the U.S. are now, in some ways, and this shows the treachery of the United States, allowed to come to the United States, but then they become part of a ping pong game, right? Because sometimes they're not all allowed in. Sometimes they choose which ones are allowed and which ones are not based on domestic, the ability to convince the public that they want to allow these people in, or how different they look at times, right? And now, under this overt anti-immigration stance by this particular president, they're even stopping these programs, which in the past have allowed folks who sided up with the United States in these imperialist efforts to come over here and settle. And so, in some ways, creating hopeful, like, again, this stuff won't get exposed in mainstream media, but you hope that people will think twice before deciding to support the United States when they invade your country, because the outcomes is not that the United States are going to support you're discarded the next day. You're a tool for them. You're a tool for the CIA. They didn't care damn about your personal life or whatever like that. The only thing that's happening now is that this is like a potentially some of this information will come out, which will be a backlash to what the CIA was doing when it was down in Afghanistan. But again, the corporate media will not focus on that stuff. What they really will focus on is claiming this person had trauma, the war itself in very general terms. They couldn't fit in because they were Islamic and they were here in the United States, and then they acted in this way. So even in terms of their actions, it won't explore all the ways in which it's the United States itself that caused this, even in the sense, and I'll stop here, even in the sense of there shouldn't have been any National Guard there in the first place
The first.
to be shot. So that the fact that the National Guard was there in the first place is an act by the Trump administration, that is an act that put them in danger, knowing that there were going to be people who will definitely respond to people being pushed around, shoved, whether they were directly so, but seeing these images of these federal agents, federal soldiers acting in certain ways, they put them in this place of jeopardy, knowing that there's going to be reaction.
Right. Yeah, and just a couple of points, right? Like, I think the point about trauma is a good one, right? And because I do remember there was a quote, and I don't have the resource right now, and correct me in the chat, but I do believe someone who knew him under the condition of anonymity, I think because they're still in Afghanistan, they did not want to be targeted by the Taliban, made a comment that he was very traumatized by his work with the Zero Unit. He was very traumatized by seeing the war crimes that they committed, right, and being a part of those, right. So like there's that element, right, that is, they're not going to cover. They're going to make this about, and they've already tried to make this about Afghani culture, right, when it's not about the CIA's culture, the U.S. military's culture, the U.S.'s culture, right, not about any of that, right, which is very clear that he was much more probably influenced by, you know what I mean, in the way he was trained and developed as an asset, right. And then, the joke about the false flag, right, fine, I would never, don't want to spread any misinformation, don't want to be a part of, like, put on a tinfoil hat or nothing like that. But what I will say is the situation could not, if it were orchestrated, it could not be orchestrated any better, right?
It tracks, right?
You know what I'm saying? And like as an incident, completely validates many of the things, right, that the Trump administration wants to focus on in terms of immigration, right? And it falls right into their hands about, oh, we need to lock down the border, right, because these people are unsafe, et cetera, et cetera. So it very much falls into that story. And I just find it weird that someone with this kind of training would take a revolver and shoot 2 National Guards people in broad daylight. Like, I mean, that just feels weird. Feels like a weird choice.
But it was mission accomplished. You know what I'm saying? We can only gauge him by his results. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he didn't. From what I understand, he didn't. It wasn't like a mass shooting. You know what I mean? Like he was very targeted and accurate.
Yeah, and Janine Pirro, or yeah, I'm pretty sure that's her name. You know, did say that she was going to pursue murder charges if somebody died. One of them did die, so assumably they'll be charging this person with murder. But not more importantly, but like in addition, right? All this will lead to more of a crackdown. To Kamal's point, this National Guard shouldn't have been here in the first place, right? They were supposed to be winding down. They were supposed to be leaving, right? Now with this, they're sending more, right? So this has provided a crisis event that will allow them to further militarize DC, not take the hint and get out, right? So yeah.
Well, that's the crazy part, right? Because this individual from Afghanistan traveled across the country. This wasn't a local, you know what I mean? Like you're going to send more troops to DC for actions that someone that doesn't even live here committed, right? And by the way, like the determination, I'll say, of folks that are traveling long distances to DC to cause some violence, like this guy, and then the other guy who killed the 2 Israeli embassy employees, also not a local. You know what I mean? I'm like, people are exacting their political violence out here on the streets of DC, and I don't exactly dig it, but you know, because it just makes the whole situation more dangerous for people that actually live around here. So, I mean, I don't know where 500 additional National Guard troops are coming from. From what I understand, the West Virginia governor said that he is recalling the West Virginia National Guards unit, or the people that have been deployed here, obviously because, you know, 2 of them were shot, 1 killed. But I mean, you got now these red state governors are going to have to continue to make the case, like, why are you sending troops from Texas, from Ohio, from Mississippi to Washington, D.C. to basically be sitting ducks for anyone that wanted to exact anything out against them, because they're geared up, right, Evan? Like, I've only seen them a couple times.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Vests. I've definitely seen sidearms on these people. I mean, yeah, like they're
can't miss them.
And in little groups walking around, it's so surreal to see them just, you know, patrolling the streets. It's so weird.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. So let's go to some of the ICE stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of, you know, again, one of the things that's just showing the abuse of power by the United States and its federal agencies.
What the fuck was that? Holy shit.
Do you know what facility this is?
Howard and Center Streets, Chinatown.
Seriously, what the fuck? Why?
There's another clip. I think I sent you 2 clips from this. Yeah, hit the other one.
Can someone just describe what's happening in the video also?
Come out.
Please.
I can. Yeah. ICE was running down and chasing a protester. Okay,
was it ICE or was it NYPD? Because NYPD is obviously ICE is catching flack, but NYPD also should be catching flack. But NYPD showed up again to protect the fucking feds, and the people was like,
Yeah, that was, yeah. I don't know if that was the same agency, and I know it was in the daytime, and maybe there's definitely some footage like we can show on that one too. where I think either people had found out or people started to gather that there was about to be some ICE action, and then the NYPD stepped in the way as people were putting trash cans, blocking, chanting, stepped in the way and cleared a path for the ICE agents to exit. So this one is
What I saw
somebody speaking at
was the NYPD behaving like handmaidens to these ICE terrorists.
Who are you protecting? You're protecting. You're not protecting the people. Why?
It started with a clash between protesters and ICE agents, but it ended with a confrontation between protesters and the NYPD. Police say they made multiple arrests after video shows protesters blocking ICE agents from exiting a parking garage. Protesters say they had gotten word of a federal immigration raid near Center Street and Howard Streets in Chinatown and were trying to stop it from happening. The Department of Homeland Security called the protesters, quote, violent rioters. Protesters called the NYPD response overreaching. Today, the New York Immigration Coalition held a news conference with local leaders condemning the NYPD's involvement in clearing the crowds.
Protesters, New Yorkers, friends and family members were confronted by the NYPD. And then they were brutalized.
What I saw was the NYPD behaving like handmaidens to these ICE terrorists.
The Department of Homeland Security says we are grateful for the NYPD officers that responded to these violent agitators and stopped the lawlessness that ensued. We will never apologize for enforcing the law and removing criminal illegal aliens, including murderers, pedophiles, rapists, gang members, and terrorists from our communities. Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani did not respond specifically to the NYPD's response, but he did say that the mayor-elect remains steadfast in his commitment to protecting the rights and dignity of every single New Yorker, upholding our sanctuary laws and de-escalation rather than use of unnecessary force. Tonight, we reached out to Mayor Adams, but we have no comment from him.
Yeah, none of these niggas got comments.
Right.
No, nobody got.
I'm so tired of him. I'm already tired of this man, Zohran. I'm like,
no, my assumption. I mean, obviously, I think Adams will have a comment because Adams is all for it, right?
Oh yeah. His comment will be very pro the action of the police for sure.
He'll be like, my next job depends on what I say and staying out of prison and my politics. So he will further be backing every action that ICE takes and using the NYPD in his time left to protect them. Now, Mamdani will be interesting because, again, his liberal rhetoric should lead us to believe.
You mean, wait, liberal, not socialist, Kamal?
I'm sorry.
Communist. I thought it was communist.
Full on.
Communist, left of centered rhetoric is supposed to lead us to believe that his NYPD, with the Zionist police commissioner,
with the same police commissioner, same one,
the same police commissioner, is going to act differently than how this NYPD with the same police commissioner is acting today. And so that will be interesting because crowds, I do think people will challenge his rhetoric in terms of, oh, I thought you were acting differently or you were going to be different. But when people start to see those same operations taking place in a month from now, right, that are taking place now, where the NYPD will be called out, and I love the way my man said it, as handmaidens to the ICE terrorists, that these same responses, what will be his excuse, right? He gave that statement, which was supposed to be this, you can even see in the statement, some middle ground statement, which doesn't condemn the actions of ICE, that does not overtly condemn the actions of the NYPD in their brutalizing of protesters and the fact that they were there in the first place. If he was really a mayor, or when he becomes officially the mayor, he could easily tell his NYPD to not do anything, to cordon off the area, to allow the protesters to sit, and let ICE attempt, and don't let ICE arrest anybody, but just close it off, make them feel enclosed, and so that they can't come out and do that work of trying to illegally wrap people up and send them back. So,
but that would expose how powerless that these so-called liberal or democratic mayors actually are, right? From Brandon Johnson to Muriel Bowser to Karen Bass, all of them have said that their local police departments are not assisting ICE in their deportation activities, and it's a lie, right? Like, of course, Metropolitan Police are assisting ICE in DC. Same thing with Chicago Police. Same thing with LAPD, right? They are right there, hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, and these Black Democrats keep trying to play in our faces. No, no, no. Our police departments are not working. Bitch, we see the videos. what are you even saying? So Mom Donnie, when he gets confirmed or, sworn in as mayor, if he tries to tell the NYPD to stand down, they won't. You know what I mean? Just like the rest of these police departments have not stood down at all. And basically exposing that these Black Democratic mayors, you guys are powerless. You have no control over these jackbooted thugs, right? They are in lockstep with this administration, regardless of what your Black ass got to say about it, or brown ass, is the case with Mom Donnie. And it's like, well, are these Democrats, are y'all just lying or trying to save face for your public by telling your constituents that something is not happening when everybody can clearly see that it is? What is the point of even saying that your police officers are directed or not supposed to be working or doing this type of assistance with federal agencies when they clearly are? And also, real quick, I wanted to big up to New Yorkers, because the mobilization, the assemblage, you know what I'm saying? NYC got it together real quick to get out there and prevent this particular ICE enforcement action from happening, because I don't think that those pigs were able to get out of the garage at the federal building to do their roundups that particular day. So I appreciate the people assembling real quick and not letting that go down.
Yeah, good. Honestly, and the only thing I want to say is that that's the only defense we have, right? These elected officials are not going to come in and challenge the police. They're just not going to do it, because in order to get to that position, they have already been co-opted is not even the right word, right? They're already a part of this system, by its very nature. So they're not going to challenge the police, right, in any meaningful way. And the police work hand in glove with all of these federal forces. They're real chummy when you see them on the street chatting with one another, right? Regardless of race, they're all blue or green or whatever color they want to be, right? So the only defense we have is the people, right? If we, and Renee talks about this a lot, right? People are filming, these kidnappings, right? It would be interesting to see more people stopping them, more people engaging in de-arrest activity, right? Because at the end of the day, that's the only defense you have. These police are not going to stop. At most, they're going to stand aside and let you get brutalized. And that's at most what these people are saying. At most, Mom Donnie, I think, is saying what he said amounts to the same thing that would have happened before with this particular raid that they were talking about, right? But essentially, his point is just Tish is going to do what I say, and I'm going to tell them to not partner or engage or interfere, or some language like that. But at the end of the day, right, Cop Watch, Migrant Watch is crucial. That is our defense. It's not going to be Mom Donnie or any other mayor. Democratic.
No, I completely agree with that. But I would like to see, again, I would like to see the full exposure of them giving the order and then having it ignored, or to see them challenge and do give the order. Don't just give me a press conference. Show me by not having these cops again disappear when ICE is coming. If they don't want to go as far as stopping ICE from doing what they could do with doing their arrest or whatever, then stop getting in the way of the protesters. Don't be the front line arresting protesters as they're engaging in the battle. And so that I would like to see how that begins to play out, because I suspect it won't play out. Because I suspect when the pressure is on, that Mandani will be calling the NYPD to do exactly what Adams called the NYPD to do. And so do you see this exact same video? But because of Mandani's rhetoric around this, I expect to see some backlash and some faltering on his part. So I'm just, again, I think this is a curiosity piece for me about how this dude who preached all of this democratic socialism whether he wants to focus on making the city cleaner, safer, more affordable. Of course, those are good goals, but you can't escape the politics of the time. You can't escape the things that are happening on the street as you're trying to do those other things. People are literally out in the street, like y'all said, defending the larger community against ICE raids. You can't be a public official and escape that and turn away and act like it's not happening when it's happening. He's going to have to give orders that shows what side he's truly on, which again, like you guys are saying, we should already know. But people like to kid themselves into thinking that somehow this new person with this new rhetoric and or rehashed rhetoric will somehow be different. So let's see what happens when it's time.
And I just will say, like, people were kind of concerned about us being, not concerned, but like people were critical of us being critical of him, right? And the point is to expose, right, these liberal kind of elements, right? So people are not surprised anymore, right? If he were a good socialist, really, he'd be trying to expose that contradiction. He'd be getting rid of the police commissioner, putting one that he agrees with or that is at least amenable to what he wants to do, and inviting the contradiction. That's what he should be doing, right? So that we can all see it, and so that we can all quickly disabuse ourselves of the notion that this is going to be something that we can kind of take control of and create our own structures of power. But that's what if he were a socialist. He's clearly not.
He gonna be a Brown de Blasio.
You might as well be in Atlanta, Oz, having faith in these politicians. Anyway, another beautiful show. And as we said, it's Tuesday. Donate.
Please.
Donate. That's all we asking, please. We're not begging too hard, but
donate to BAT too. Black Alliance for Peace. Donate to us. Donate to PACA. Also.
Yeah, okay. Donate to the organizations that's out here doing stuff. CMB, all the different organizations that's out here doing stuff. And that's how you be a part of what's going on. Guess I'll go watch this Diddy documentary now.
So is this a Diddy documentary made by 50 Cent? Is that right?
Oh my God, that video.
Now, Kim, is 50 good for doing this? They say he's taking down the black man for the white man for money for Netflix. But then is Diddy the hero? I mean, is 50 the hero for exposing this black man?
They are both villains in different ways. Okay.
The enemy of my enemies.
Curtis is a savage. Okay. That nigga is next level diabolical. Something's the matter with 50 Cent. Like, he is not well. Right. But I appreciate his deep driven sense of revenge. I rate it. I appreciate it.
I know you got to go. Can somebody give me the quick? Why does 50 hate Diddy so much? Is there a story?
Because Diddy tried to take 50 Cent out to go shopping one time. And he was like, I want to take you shopping. And he was like, yo, son, I don't get down like that. He was saying it was a test to see if he can, So,
it's gotta be more. I heard that, Ear Doctor, but it's gotta be more than that. You don't have this kind of smoke for somebody over years. You know what I'm saying? Decades to like.
But 50 came in the game on some battling and talking about everybody.
I know 50 always, he's always talking about everybody and anybody, but it seems to be a particular level of. I mean, he produced a whole documentary on some dude that's got nothing really to like. You could have,
Listen, I feel
he's
like
the king of petty.
This is that clip from the Godzilla movie, like, let them fight. I just want to see them fight.
It's a level of petty I can appreciate, even though I don't think highly of Curtis. I don't think highly of Curtis as a person, but I appreciate this level of petty and get back. Like, I'm gonna study it actually, so I'm probably gonna watch this.
Yeah. I bet you are.
All that to say, I'm about to watch this.
I like this white and black theme we got going on with our clothes today. But make sure y'all tune in tomorrow to see what we're wearing tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And hit that like button, subscribe, and all that.
See if we're here tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll have we'll have a bunch of different people. And I swear I'll be here on time, yo. I swear.
I was worried, like legit worried, because I just talked to you yesterday, right? So
I woke up and was like, yo, it's light outside. It ain't usually this light.
And that's what made me worry, because I was like, is he mad? And Kim was like, I just talked to this nigga and blah, blah, blah. I was like, He usually texts me if he's mad about something.
Yeah, I ain't mad
And
about
let
that.
me know, you know what I mean? Like, fuck this, fuck that, whatever.
Don't let everybody know how I get down behind the scenes. You already exposed me the other day. Fuck. All right, yeah. Come back tomorrow for some more. Hey, come out, don't leave yet. I know you be jetting as soon as we got some shit to talk about. Let me find this thing to get out of here. All right, have a great day, y'all. The Remix Morning Show. We out this bitch.
Remix. 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 Remix.